Hi everyone, welcome to this lesson on verb tenses in English. There are 12 verb tenses, but they are easier to understand when we group them into 3 categories: present, past, and future. Today, we'll look at all 12 of them. I'll explain how each one is formed, when to use them, and provide some examples to highlight the differences. Let's start with the present. These include the present simple, the present continuous, the present perfect, and the present perfect continuous. Although they're called the present tenses, they don't all describe something happening right now. They each have a specific job to do in our sentences. Let's look at them one by one, starting with the most basic.
The present simple tense is actually the most commonly used one in English. And to form the present simple, we just use the subject plus the base verb. For example, I work, you work. But remember the most important rule for he, she, and it? We need to add an S or ES. She works, for example. In negative and questions, we use do or does. And notice that after does, the main verb returns to its base form. So we don't say, does she works, we say, does she work? We use this tense for things that are generally true or happen repeatedly. It's for our routines and habits like, I go to the gym 3 times a week. It's also used for facts like water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. And for permanent situations like they live in Brisbane. Finally, we use the present simple for fixed schedules. For example, the train leaves at 6:15 tomorrow morning. Visually, the present simple looks like repeated points on a timeline. We often use time expressions like usually, always, or every day to show this frequency. A very common learner mistake is forgetting that S for the third person. Always check your sentences. She work is incorrect. She works is correct. Next is the present continuous. We form this by using the verb to be, so am, is, or are, and adding ing to our main verb. For example, I am working, or they are working. To make it negative, just add not. He isn't sleeping. And for questions, we switch the order. Are you working? We use the present continuous for actions happening exactly at this moment, like I'm talking to you right now. But we also use it for temporary situations that are only true for a short time, such as she's staying with her sister this week. It's also great for describing trends like the weather's getting warmer, or for future plans like we're meeting them tomorrow. This can be a bit confusing, so let's compare 2 sentences. I work from home means that is my usual, permanent routine, but I'm working from home this week tells us it is only a temporary situation. We use the simple for permanence and the continuous for things that are temporary or happening right now. So look for keywords like currently or at the moment. The present perfect tense connects the past and the present. We form it by using have or has plus the past participle. For regular verbs, this looks like the past simple, but irregular verbs can be different. For example, see becomes seen and go becomes gone. We use it to talk about actions where the result is important now, like I have finished my work. We use the present perfect tense to talk about life experiences and where it's not important when the action happened. So for example, I could say, I've visited Japan 3 times. We don't know when, it doesn't matter when, it just matters that I have been there. It's also for recent actions with a visible result, such as she has lost her keys. So the focus is on the fact that she doesn't have her keys now. We often use words like already, just, and recently with this tense. Here is a key difference to remember. We use the past simple when you state a finished time. So for example, I saw him yesterday, but we do not use the present perfect with finished time words. You can't say, I have seen him yesterday. Instead, use the present perfect when the time is not important or the time is unfinished. So for example, you could say, I have seen him 3 times this week. So this week is not finished. Moving on to the present perfect continuous, this tense focuses on the duration of an activity. So we follow it with have plus been or has been, and then the ing verb. For example, I've been studying English for 3 years. So this tells us the activity started in the past and is still happening now. It really emphasizes the length of the action. 2 very important words here are since and for. Use since when you name a specific starting point in time, like since Monday or since 2020. And we use for when you're talking about a duration or a length of time, like for 6 months or for 10 years. The distinction is really important for using the perfect tenses correctly in daily conversation. So think about the focus of your sentence. If you say, I've read the book, you're focusing on the result. The book is finished. But if you say, I've been reading the book, you're focusing on the activity and the time you've spent doing it. One answers the question, how much, while the other answers, how long. And both are very useful. Let's check what you've learned so far. Put the correct verb tense in each sentence. The answers are, I have worked, she is cooking, he usually wakes up, and they have been working. How many did you get right? Let's keep going. Let's move on now to look at the past tenses. So there are 4 main past tenses, and the important difference between them is not simply when something happened, but how one past action relates to another. This is where we can start building more complex stories. So let's look at the past simple first. Past simple is used for actions that are completed in the past. With regular verbs, we just add ed, but for irregular verbs, you need to learn the specific past form. So for example, went or saw. In negatives and questions, we use did, and just like with does in the present, after did, we use the base form of the verb. So we say, did you go, not did you went. We use the past simple for events at a definite time in the past, like I moved to Australia in 2019. It's also used for telling a story as a sequence of events, such as he opened the door, walked inside, and sat down. Each action is finished before the next one starts. And we also use the past simple for past habits, like things you did every day as a child. I played tennis twice a week when I was a child. The past continuous describes an activity that was already happening at a particular time in the past. We form it using was or were plus the ing verb. For example, at 8 o'clock last night, I was watching TV. It sets the scene and tells us what was going on at a specific past moment. It's like a past version of the present continuous. We often use the past continuous and the past simple together. The continuous describes the long background action, while the past simple describes the short action that interrupts it. So for example, I was driving home when my phone rang. You can also use while for the long action. While I was cooking, the power went out. Notice how they work together to create a clear picture. Moving on to the past perfect. This tense is very useful for showing the sequence of two past actions. You can think of it like the past before the past. So we use had plus the past participle. For example, when I arrived, she had already left. This means she was already gone before the moment I arrived, and it helps the listener understand which action happened first without needing to use lots of extra words. Pay attention to how much the meaning changes with just one word. When I arrived, she left. This means she waited for me and left after I got there. But if we say, when I arrived, she had left, this means she was already gone. So completely different. So this tense is essential for clear storytelling in English, especially when you're explaining the reasons why something happened in the past. Just like we have a continuous form in the present, we also have a continuous form in the past perfect. It's called the past perfect continuous tense, and it emphasizes the duration of an activity before another past event. So for example, she had been waiting for an hour before the bus finally arrived. It shows the length of time leading up to that past moment, often explaining how someone felt or why a situation existed. Let's now look at all four past tenses working together in one story. Yesterday, I arrived at work late. Past simple. My colleagues were having a meeting. Past continuous. They had already started before I arrived. Past perfect. They had been discussing the new project for 20 minutes. Past perfect continuous. Notice how each tense adds a different layer of meaning to the story. Alright, so we've covered the present and the past, so now let's look towards the future. English has several different ways of talking about the future. In this section, we're going to focus on the four forms traditionally taught as the main future tenses. We'll also briefly look at going to, as it's very common in everyday English. Let's start with will. The most common future form is will plus the base verb. In natural speech, we almost always use contractions like I'll, you'll, or she'll. The negative form is won't. It's a very useful tense that we use every day. Just remember that after will, we always use the base form of the verb regardless of the subject. So we say, she will come, not she will comes. We use will for predictions based on our opinion, spontaneous decisions like I'll answer the phone, and promises. But be careful if you have a prior plan or if there is clear evidence right now, like dark clouds in the sky, we usually use going to instead. So we can say, I'm going to study tonight, or it's going to rain. Will is more for what we think or decide in the moment. The future continuous describes an action that will be happening at a specific time in the future. So for example, at 8 o'clock tonight, we'll be having dinner. It's like looking into the future and seeing a continuous action in progress. It's often used to tell people not to bother you at a certain time. So for example, don't call me at 10, I'll be teaching. It's a future version of I am teaching or I was teaching. Let's look at the future perfect. The future perfect looks back from a point in the future. It describes an action that will be finished before a certain point in the future. We often use the word by with its tense, meaning no later than. So for example, by next year, she'll have completed her degree. It allows you to look forward to a moment when something will be finished in the future. And finally, there's the future perfect continuous tense. This tense emphasizes how long an activity will have been going on at a particular time in the future. So for example, at 5 o'clock this afternoon, she will have been driving for 6 hours. So the emphasis is on the length of time, just like it is with all the continuous tenses. This tense is not as common as the other tenses, but it's still good to be aware of. Now let's have a look at all 12 tenses in one place. The simple tenses are for facts and routines. The continuous tenses are for actions in progress. The perfect tenses look backwards to what happened before a point, and the perfect continuous tenses combine those by emphasizing the duration of an earlier action.
Okay everyone, it's quiz time. We've looked at all 12 English verb tenses, so now it's time to review what you've learned. I'll give you 12 questions covering all 12 tenses. For each one, think about which tense we use and why. You can pause the video whenever you need a little more time to think. Ready? Let's start. Question 1. Which tense do we use to talk about habits and routines? Question 2. Which tense do we use for something that's happening right now or around now, or to talk about future plans? Number 3. Which tense connects a past action or experience to the present, or a life experience? Pause the video if you need more time. Number 1, the answer is present simple. Number 2, the answer is present continuous. And number 3, the answer is present perfect. Question number 4. Which tense emphasizes how long an activity has been continuing up to now? Question 5. Which tense describes a completed action at a particular time in the past? Question 6. Which tense describes an action that was in progress at a particular time in the past? And the answers are number 4, present perfect continuous. Number 5, past simple. And number 6, past continuous. Question number 7. Which tense shows that one past action happened before another past action? Number 8. Which tense emphasizes the duration of an activity that continued up to another point in the past? Number 9, which tense with will can we use for predictions, promises, and spontaneous decisions? The answers are number 7, past perfect, number 8, past perfect continuous, and number 9 is future simple. Question 10. Which tense describes an action that will be in progress at a particular time in the future? Number 11. Which tense describes something that will be completed before a particular future time? And number 12. Which tense emphasizes how long an activity will have been continuing by a particular time in the future? And the answers are number 10, future continuous, number 11, future perfect, and number 12, future perfect continuous. How did you go? Score 1 point for each correct answer. So if you got 10 to 12 correct, that is fantastic. You have a really good understanding of the English tense system. If you got between 7 and 9, you're doing really well. There are just a few tenses worth reviewing. And if you got under 7, don't worry. These 12 tenses take time and practice to master. Here's a bonus challenge. By next June, I will have been teaching English for 10 years. Which tense is this and why is it used? By next June, I will have been teaching English for 10 years. Have a think. So the answer is, it is the future perfect continuous tense. And we use this tense when we want to focus on how long an activity will have been continuing up to a particular point in the future. All right, everyone, that's it for this lesson. I realize it's a lot, but the best way to approach the tenses is to start by thinking about 3 things. Are you talking about the present, the past, or the future? Are you describing a fact, an action in progress, or something that happened before a point in time? Once you start to recognize those patterns, the English tense system becomes much easier to understand. If you found this lesson helpful, make sure to save it so you can come back and review. And if you'd like more practical English lessons, please subscribe to my channel. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Bye for now. Oh, and one more thing I almost forgot to mention. I've also put together a summary and worksheet for this lesson, so you can download and work through it. It's a great way to practice what we've covered and reinforce everything you've learned in today's video. You'll see a link where you can download it in the description.